I'm going live early. I'm going live 3 minutes early. And I was probably over there watching Ernie, hoping they'll win some money. For replay purposes, if you are watching this on the replay, please give me a thumbs up. Share it out. $1 million wouldn't hurt. I mean, if you really enjoyed it, $2 million would be great. I do take traveler's checks, loose change, and Donner's Club, which I don't I can't see. Hey, Carrie. Feel like I haven't seen anybody in 1,000 years. That's how long it feels like. Are you, Clancy, you okay? Hey, Smiley Molly. I know I'm ripping people away from what will prove to be a rather, I don't even know what Mr. Shell's got planned tonight. More being professional. You know what, Carrie? We're supposed to get some tomorrow. Hey, Margaret, we're supposed to get some tomorrow. I'm in Virginia. No, I mean, I guess Sunday is the best place to get it. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I got a flu shot. Hey, state of disorder. I have never had a reaction to a flu shot in my life. Every time I heard people say that they had a reaction, I'm like, y'all are stupid. Hey, brain worms. I really thought people were just being ignorant. So 2 weeks ago, I got my flu shot. I will know. I will up. Mama cannoli, hello. I will never make fun of anybody again. Started raining again. We're supposed to get, hey, Charlie K. We're supposed to get rain or snow tomorrow. We'll see. I love waking up and looking out the window, seeing what's going to happen. You know, gosh, brain worms. Let me tell y'all this about Johnny Gosch, and there are about, I don't even know, and I'm not kidding. If you know this case, you know that the amount of rabbit holes that you have that you have the choice to go under is a lot. It is a lot. If you follow Noreen Gosch's journey through some questionable detectives that she hired, then everybody on earth, including the president, is a satanic child SA. Everybody. If you believe Noreen, everybody, even her ex-husband that she was laying next to when her son went missing, that they shared Johnny. It was both of, it was their son. He wasn't a stepdad. It was his. She even believes at one point that her ex-husband, his father, has got something to do with it. And then you can go down several other. I mean, and so will I be able to hit on all of them? Hey, Peggy, I love you. Will I be able to hit on every single rabbit hole? Absolutely not. No, there's not enough time. There's not enough time. But I have it mapped out here. And we go down, again, I always tell people, if you watch this and you go and look at this afterwards, hey, Susan, hey, Jennifer, if you decide to look into this afterwards, because I always, do it. Hold on. You're going to be there a minute. You're going to be down these holes for a minute. So I can only kind of really touch on things. Some of this is going to make you really angry. Some of this is going to confuse the shit out of you. Some of this is going to. Hey, Lisa Maxwell. If I have missed anyone, I am sorry. PDX, my love, I love you so much. PDX is now because she is she is out and about every day. I wish I could do that. I wish I could take the camera and go everywhere I need to go, but all y'all would do is hear me screaming and hollering. Oh, Jennifer, I missed y'all. I got great news Friday when you're oh shit. Oh, state of disorder. I'm sorry. You got some luck. Yeah, I mean, even this even Jeff Gannon. If you've never heard this story, oh, they're not ever going to do it. No, Jennifer, they're not ever going to do that. If they do, they won't mean to. And I say that because either they'll find him. They didn't find Jacob Wetterling's body for 20, 30 years, but they also had the guy that killed him that led them there. We have three boys that disappeared every 2 years. 83, 80, 82, 84, 86. That two were paper boys. Two were paper boys that were going to deliver the Sunday paper. Two were paper boys who usually either had a brother or a parent with them, and that day didn't. What are the odds that they would go missing on that day? The one that they don't have somebody with them. What are the odds of that? Because you wouldn't even, I don't know, we'll get into it. But they even have a man named Jeff Gannon who Noreen believes is her son. Even though he's about, 13 years older than Johnny would have been. I'm trying to see. And then you have a guy who you have it's rumors, it's big. It's a lot of rumors. It's a lot of I feel so sorry for Noreen. And I feel sorry for her because I think that people have used her, but she's used them as well to keep her son's name out there when the other two boys weren't given the same attention. Hell, some even think that those three boys are not connected. There was a theory that Johnny. Well, Noreen said that that Johnny visited her in 1997. Her ex-husband absolutely says, I don't think that happened. She had said it before. She had made claims before. Hey, Avian, how are you? She had made claims before that she had seen Johnny or whatever, and then she recanted them. This time she didn't. The last time. So we've got the Franklin Credit Union scandal we have to cover, because if we don't cover that, we can't bring in other people that have come. There's a 2000, a police chase. Give me a fucking break. Hold on. We might watch a damn police chase real quick. I don't care. Yep. Hold on. Oh, hell yeah. Let's watch it. Y'all want to? We're going to watch a police chase. Oh, this doesn't have any sound. I hate it when they don't have any sound. Hold on. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch a police chase. Oh, come on. I gotta find one that has sound. Look at this son of a bitch. Can y'all see it? Let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Oh, we gotta have sound. Come on. All right, let me bring that up. Let me make it bigger. Let's do this. Is that better? I'll take myself out. I'm taking myself out. All right, no, let me do this. Let me kill the. There we go. Now, when another station starts covering this with sound, we'll go over there. I don't care. I love a damn police chase. I ain't missing it. Yeah, I did. Hey, Virgo, we're going to watch police chase real quick. Please, another channel come on that's got this. I hate it when they don't have any effing, I hate it when they don't have any, oh shit, blowed it up. What did I do? Come on. All right, as soon as we have sound on another channel, I will, because I don't know what it's for. Let me look. If you don't like a good police chase, something's wrong with you. Hey, Stasia. If you do not love a good police chase, hey, Gotham. I'm finally back amongst. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh my God! Hold on, that some bitch is gonna act stupid. Let's see what he gonna do. What you gonna do? Let me see what it says here. Police chase underway in Los Angeles. So we don't really know why they're chasing him. Come on, my guy. Always on the side of the road with all of his lights out. Do y'all think that's going to end well? APG, it is not. No lights on. And there's obvious traffic. Oh, Stasia, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. I do. Look at this black car, no lights. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Come on, another channel, please cover it with sound. This is, Fox always has it. It's all right. Don't worry. All right, hold on. Yeah, no, I got, all right. Wonder what he did. What did he do? You see that thing's no audio available. If you have, Carrie, thank you for being a member for 9 months. If you have the capability of having a fucking helicopter in the air to watch this, why do you not have audio as well? Just hook them the F up. Hey, squids. This ain't gonna end well. Or we just went blue. Why we go blue? Hold on, we back. Don't. We're back. This is usually during the day on let me see. That we're blue again. On Fox LA, we have a man named Stu. Stu gets up there. He is the funniest thing. When he calls the damn police chase, he is a bitches. Hello. We're going to watch this real quick, but I hope we get some sound. Oh, don't be a pussy. Don't stop. That's what I'm talking about. You keep going. You see, where I live in Lynchburg, all of the police, Stu is the best, right? All of the police, all of the fire, right? They have a button that they can push, and all of the lights will stay red or go to red. Apparently in LA, they don't have such a thing. Hold on, I think we might have one. Come on. No. Oh, Susan, I can't get it on my phone. Well, thank you. You know, I did, but I can't get it on my computer. I can't get it on my computer. I'm gonna pout. Squids, thank you for being a member for 3 months, and it's wonderful to see y'all. I didn't die. Oh, there we go. Susan might have just saved the day. Wait, 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 wait. Oh, why is it not letting me? It's all right. We're gonna find it. Don't worry. Hold on. We're gonna find it. All right. Oh, wait a minute. All right, they don't have it. Hold on. I just saw another one that did, I think. Nope, wrong one. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Nope. Shut up. All right, I can't bring that one up for some reason. I want to know what he did. If I don't know what he did, then how can I either cheer him on or uncheer him on? Son of a bitch. Come on, everybody. Anyway, I don't understand LA why you can't push the button to make, hey, Genevieve, you can't push the button to make the light go red. You have, obviously, you have, that dude is moving. You don't have the technology when in Lynchburg, Virginia, they absolutely have the technology to do that. Let's see. I'm looking at his speed. Yeah. He's going like 35, 40 down. So that's not really. Oh God. See, when they go through intersections, I'm like, people that are going to watch this replay and go, what the F is she doing? She's lost it. It's over. It's done. Call the police. Shannon has lost her fucking brains. Because I haven't been live in so long. I'm still, come on. Are y'all keeping up with that fire in Hong Kong? Oh my God. I watched that thing. I'm sorry. I love a car chase. I'm sorry. I will interrupt anything to watch a car chase. I don't care. I love them. They're my favorite thing ever. I don't like when people, hey, Cinnamon Girl. Hey, Honey Bee. Is Ernie up there giving money away yet? Is Ernie over there being professional and giving money away to members only, which by the way is against terms of service, but I'm not going to be here nor there. It is what it is. This is live, but I can't, for Genevieve, for some reason, this channel never has audio. At night, anyway. In the day, we would have Stu. Stu is great. Everybody loves Stu. What is his name? Stu Mendelson or something like that. I can't remember, but I love him. I did. Thank you, Gotham. Thank you. I've had to break out the summer. I mean, I had to break out the winter stuff. It's cold down here. I almost have like a parka. If you're flicking on and off, does that mean you're trying to get effing audio? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got it. Hold on. I found it. That's irritating audio.
Okay, turning off.
Oh, there we go.
Highway now. I can just made a right onto Lakewood Boulevard. Back in tracking mode. Only the helicopter overhead.
Hey, John, I don't know.
Lights behind this.
I don't know about them. I don't. I'm gonna tell you this about that. I've known Benny for I don't know how many years. I don't know how many years I've known Benny. We're at the point now where I don't understand what the fuck Benny is
Yeah, I saw
doing.
him hit the brakes, and he is back on the freeway.
Black
Another
with no
opportunity for
lights on there.
CHP to take this over, to take over this carjacking
Let me tell
pursuit.
y'all this.
He's back on the 105, this time
If
headed
Chips
east.
gets involved in this, it's over. They don't give a shit. They are going to do a
Okay,
pit
Jordan, you
maneuver
crossing
on
over us.
him.
You got it?
If he's going 112 miles an hour, they do not care. Do not get on the freeway, my guy. You have just fucked up.
You got it. It's headed
You
east.
should have lived there long enough to know
It's on the
you
freeway.
did just fucked up. Let me see if what it was because Fox wasn't telling me. Fox was not telling me. Let's see what's going on. Sometimes the chat is funnier than the police chase, quite frankly.
Okay, and this is the best view we've had inside the car, inside this pursuit vehicle.
You know, I always say
Back on the 105
you
and
can't
speeds east.
outrun
I don't believe I see anybody in the passenger
a
seat.
helicopter. But I've seen them outrun a helicopter
But I believe I
before.
saw
Turn it
black and
down just
whites
a little bit.
behind this. Back in active pursuit, I believe.
I
Yeah.
don't dislike the guy, but yeah, Squid. So I don't know if you remember when Jimbo and Kemper had one of Benny's children on. It was his daughter, and she had just freshly turned 18. And Benny wasn't the greatest, if you listen to her. And he knows what Ernie is. Benny knows what Ernie is. So I don't understand why you would want to connect yourself to him. Ernie's a joke. Mark Terry is a joke. Go anywhere and ask somebody about Mark Terry. He's a joke. This new thing where they all going to be professional. Even Kevin, professional. It's going to be no. Ernie was professional Friday night, right? Oh, professional. I'm going to be professional. Professional. He's over today cussing and screaming and hollering. We've seen this before where he was going to do this and he was going to do that and he was going to give away money and he was going to have t-shirts. And this is about the time he takes a run. Look at his mom.
Back on the 605, this driver seems determined to get back to an area he's familiar with.
And now I guess Ernie and Nicolina don't like each other, but Nicolina is going to go with the flow. She's not going to care. She doesn't care. She's going to go with Benny. That's all. It's hey, pallets. So I don't even know what's going on there. Mark Terry is a fucking joke. He is a beggar, a liar, a joke. So I don't know what Ernie and Kevin are thinking. Kevin should be smart enough to know, but I think Kevin has no friends at all. So when you have these three people, he thinks that they're his bestest friends ever because they're the only friends that he has. I don't know. But Mark wasn't going to Mark and Kevin didn't want anything to do with Summer Wells. That's all Benny wants to talk about. That's all Ernie wanted to talk about until people started calling Ernie out on it. And then he don't want to talk about it no more because you will never going to find him. You the one ASTA. Mark Terry. Oh, God, Peggy. Just an idiot. Abundance of stolen Monopoly games. Yeah. We
made a giant loop. We are back.
They always make loops.
In Santa Fe Springs. This is right by where it started, where this driver was turning circles at least 2 other times.
Where are they? Let me see. I don't think he's speeding. I mean, well, he might be. Let's see. No, he's only. Well, wait a minute. I'm lying. Now up to 70, then back down to 60. Now he's back up to 70. Now he's back down to 60. Now he's back. Oh, he's at 80 now. Now he's back down to 60. He does not know what's going on. Is he going to get off?
Hey, Bill, if you got me on microwave, no, I do not hear you on the 450 radio. I'm getting your
It's
texts.
okay. We hear you, baby. That's all right, baby. We hear you. Come on, call this thing. Don't lose him. They always lose him. There we. Why are you doing that? Oh, to see where the cops are. Where are the cops? There he is. We got him back. There he is with no lights on. I see him on the right here. Me and my little boy used to love watching car
Copy that.
chases.
Got the IFB radio turned back up.
He's 23 now.
I'm not hearing programming, though.
And they just leave. They might have just left him alone if he's too dangerous.
Hey, Des, copy that. I got it turned up, not hearing anything.
Not hearing a damn thing. You right, girl. We ain't hearing nothing. What's going on? Why you do that? It just says pursuit. Oh, well, here comes Cat. Here comes Cat. I'm in trouble. I'm sorry.
Hey, NOC, I got you loud and clear.
You like it?
I want, yeah. Well,
You
after the car chase.
Oh, it smells really nice in here.
Thank you.
What's that smell?
It's one of my wax melts.
What is it? I want it.
Hey, NOC, I hear you. I'm
Look
not
at
hearing
that.
programming. Hey, Belle, I got you.
I'll look later. Pat scored.
So was it at 6-2 now?
62.
6-2. I think our Maple Leafs might just win this.
I don't know. Last game against the Penguins. I think the Penguins suck.
What is this? Oh, Susan said, "Hi, Cat."
Hi.
Next Thursday, I'm going to my very first.
We.
Well, me and Catherine are going to our very
Roger that.
first
Copy.
Maple Leaf game in Raleigh, North Carolina. They're going to play the whatever the fuck the Raleighs are. I don't know what they are. I don't care.
What?
The New North
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes. We don't care about that. We're going to be in our gear, our Toronto Maple Leafs gear. Sorry, I know. Next Thursday, I cannot wait. I'm going to see how many times I can flash my boobs at. Nope. I'm going to see how many times I can flash my boobs at players before I get kicked out. I'm thinking at least 5 times. I think after the 5th time, they're going to say, okay, put them away.
I think
And they've got their reverse lights turned on, so other
Because I want to do 88.
they're following this black.
Then I want to erase that and do 34.
I think you might have
Erase that
on
again,
the free
91.
but then it got back into the right hand lane. Still
Yeah.
on the 5.
Pretty good idea.
All
right, I'm gonna. We will put this on.
I have a question.
What?
You can walk around before they start. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking about the possibility.
So you can go. You can go down to the weather warming up.
I'm gonna get them warming up. I love to
You
watch
can go
them
down.
warm up.
You can go to the ice. You can go down to.
I'm gonna film them warming up for y'all.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
It's beautiful.
I want to try to get Walden's attention.
IFB for now.
Wall didn't start tonight.
Just came back.
The other guy?
The other guy started. Wall didn't start.
Well, he was tired.
I guess so.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to. I know you're gonna hate
Did you
it.
still in your cut?
And a bit of new info here.
What are you
I'm
doing?
hearing from my pilot who's
You
talking to the other
scratching?
airships
Sit,
on their
stop.
radios.
What are you doing?
They've got Westminster CHP units setting up now just ahead of this on the freeway. And as if this
God, Mom, you have so much notes.
I know.
Getting in
All right, I'm.
place,
What are you
trying
trying
to
to do?
slowly bring this to an end as it hits the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
But we are back off the freeway.
Thank
now. This
you,
just exited
my
the
friend,
south.
for my cash out. Thank
Third
you.
time, at least the third time this driver.
I won't
has
mention it
led
because I
this
know
year.
sometimes people don't want to do it. Yeah. Oh, you live in. Oh yeah, it's beautiful here. It really is beautiful here. All right, I am going to take this person off. Hold on, I can do this on my phone. Yeah.
And it looks like we're on
I'm
video.
not trying to do. I don't know
Just
what I'm trying
crossed
to do.
the
All right, we got to talk
Bell
about this
Boulevard
case, or
intersection as
we'll
this
be here all
driver
night.
weaves
Still
around
screen
other
sharing.
cars
I know that.
Oh, you're putting it on your
but had he
phone.
stayed on
Yeah.
the freeway, had he stayed on the 5 South,
I'm
you would have
going
seen that he
to
was just ahead of him, getting in position.
leave this, and then I'm watching it over here, and if we need to see anything, I will bring that up. So let's talk
Oh my
about
God,
these
yeah.
boys.
We never changed your StreamYard's background from the hockey.
Oh no, I put it. It's
It's the hockey.
Thank you, Gotham. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's the Maple Leafs thing.
Oh, okay, bye guys. I just want to tell you that Pat scored.
Pap scored, Pappy.
I just wish, I hope they win when we go. Everyone needs to light Jesus candles. In less than a week, Mom.
I know. Thursday.
That's crazy.
Thursday.
I told my professors I'm not going to be in class for you guys.
Yeah.
And someone,
Okay. Get out. Let's talk about Johnny Gosch. So, we're going to talk about three boys. We're going to talk about Johnny Gosch, who went missing September 5th, 1982. He was doing his Sunday paper route. Everybody knows. Everybody said bye, cat. It was Labor Day. Nope. Memorial Day week. Nope. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. He went to do his paper route. He always took either his mother or his father with him. Let me bring the picture up. Always brought either his mother or his father, usually his father. The Saturday night before this happened, he said, why can't I just do this alone? Why can't I go by myself? The other boys were there. They had a spot where they dropped the paper. All the boys would get there, get their papers, get them ready, and go deliver them. The dad said, okay, which would be John Sr. But his mother went, nope, absolutely not. So the next morning, Johnny gets up. He does not wake his father up. He goes down to his down to where they pick up the paper. There he is right there. I'm sure everybody has seen this photograph. Right, exactly. And those Sunday papers were big. And this was a holiday weekend as well. And I told y'all, usually Johnny's dad went with him. But he didn't wake. Johnny didn't wake the dad up. He took the dog with him. I'm just going to show you really quickly this little. Johnny was a 12-year-old, but look, he was 5'7", 140. He didn't look like a 12-year-old. I look at him. He's a big kid. Yeah, I'm going to show the wagon, right? Let's see. That is the street. That's the car. There's the famous red wagon. So he took the wagon up to the drop point. Collected the papers. They were in the wagon with the dog. He took the little Dachshund, little dog. So they started to get at like 7 a.m. His parents started to get phone calls. We don't have any paper. Where's the paper? Where's Johnny? We don't have the paper. They wake up. They're like, oh shit, So the dad goes and he finds the wagon. The dog has come home by then, by the way. He's found the papers in the wagon that Johnny had not even cut yet. He hadn't cut the plastic off, the bands. He hadn't done anything. They were just in the bag, in the wagon. So his dad went on and delivered the papers, and then looked around and realized something was very wrong. Very, very wrong. So he comes back in, and about 8 o'clock in the morning, they call the police. Now, Johnny has left the house at like 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock, he's already been gone 2 hours before they even realize he's gone. So that is another problem. So they go up there and they find out that there had been a man up there that kept pulling around to where that paper drop was, and he wanted directions. He kept asking for directions to 86th Street. And let me see if I can bring this up. We have got it's kind of let me show you. Hold on. It's a map. I'm going to screen share it with you. I sure am. Hold on one second. We're going to look at this map. Now, this is confusing, I understand. But so we have right here is where they drop the papers. Okay, that is where they drop the papers. This little thing right here, Ashworth Road, right here on a corner. There's a church right here. If you look across the street is the church. This is where a witness from the second floor of their home witnessed a silver Ford Fairmont with a large black stripe. This is all right. So they dropped the paper off. Then we got a blue car that's right here, right beside. Let me make sure y'all seeing this. Yes, you're seeing it. All right. All right. So there's a man talking to them in a car who keeps wanting directions. The one little boy that was 16 said, "Man, something is really wrong here. Something is wrong. Let me look at this person's plate because something is just not right." And then so he leaves and then he circles back. If you see it right here, this is where a silver car pops up. And supposedly, let me just read it to you because there's about 7 different versions of this. So let me take that off. That's going to come into play in a minute. So, okay, hold on. Noreen and John go up there and they talk to everybody that was there. They talked to the 16-year-old that said something wasn't right. They talked to there was a dad up there picking up papers that didn't really notice anything. Thank you, SDL. I love you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. So the man turns around. Now we got a couple stories here. We've got one story is where the guy turns around really quick, does a U-turn, comes back, and again asks for directions. Again, this is the intersection that he would have done it. This is the kind of car he had. It was blue on blue. Ford, what do they call that thing? Fairmont, maybe, I can't remember. Here's the little wagon. This is the description of the guy. This is the description. This is a lie. This is what Noreen and John Gosch had a artist do. The police had another sketch of the guy. They asked all the kids, but they wouldn't, for some reason, they wouldn't publicize that photograph. I don't know why, but they did it. So Noreen and John said, "Fuck it, we'll get our own." And this is the guy, the composite. So Johnny is seen talking to this man. It looks like a friendly conversation. It doesn't look like, nobody's got his hands on him. Nobody's done anything like that. And then all of a sudden they hear like a slamming of a car door, and then they hear a car peeling out. John is gone at this point. Johnny Gosch is gone. Then we also have a story where this guy was talking to him. This man right here, when the first guy drove off, right, and the guy flashed his inside light 3 times. That's important, I guess. The guy that came around and asked for directions. Once he talked to Johnny, he turned the dome light on 3 times. Then they say that this man here came out from between two houses and began to follow Johnny. This is story number 2. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So this will be story 2. There's a couple different stories here. Doesn't matter. Johnny's gone. Noreen says the police didn't want to do anything. They wanted to wait 72 hours. In Iowa in 1982, it didn't matter if you were an adult or a child. 72 hours is what you had to wait to report someone missing. Now, police did show up the day that he went missing about 3 o'clock that afternoon, Noreen says. So we've got him leaving at 6, being seen between 6 and 6:15 a.m. We know at 7:30, he had not delivered the papers. And we know by 8 o'clock, he was nowhere to be found. They called the police. Johnny's gone. Johnny gone. It took a while. I mean, it said right here, before the man made the U-turn to leave, they watched him flick the dome light on 3 times. When Johnny went north of his route, at least 2 other paper boys noticed a man following him. Then a neighbor heard a car door slam. Watched the silver Fairmont. This now it now went from blue to silver. Speed away. At this point, here's some for me. I said, at this point, I'm confused. I know police gathered at the paper drop, looked around, talked to witnesses, but neighbors, no neighbors called the police. So it wasn't, they weren't that, upset about it. They wasn't that too far out. So days literally turned into weeks, turned into months. Now, what his parents did was they hired some private detectives. The one had been a retired detective from New York. Look, every one of these effing cases, they have consulted or got a ex detective from New York City. They're everywhere. Apparently, they're just everywhere. It doesn't matter what little town you're in. You can find a retired New York City detective everywhere. Okay. I love a damn bowl of cereal. Yeah, Halloween, baby. So again, they were working. The family were making out the flyers. They were the ones, they were calling the news, right? Noreen and them wanted the National Guard to take a helicopter to go and look around. The governor said, yeah, sure, but it's going to be $600 an hour for us to do that. So she called a news station. And they said, yeah, we'll put one up for free. We'll go look. They did. There's no Johnny. We're 2 hours into this. He's been gone 2 hours. Any which way, don't know. Don't know where he went. No idea. But they hired these detectives. One of the guys' name was Ted Gunderson. All right, let's bring this up because this is odd. This man is odd, but we'll leave right here. We'll leave this right here. We'll go. The police did ask Noreen and John, is this the first time he's run away? Which they made, they made, $600 an hour. And that's in 1982. I don't know what that would translate to now. Probably $2,000 at least. Yeah, and has he ever run away before? So they thought he was a runaway. They really weren't worried about it. The police were not worried about it. Plus, they hadn't waited the 72 hours. This is a 12-year-old boy. He don't look 12, but he is 12. All right, he don't look it. 5'7", 140. That's big for a 12-year-old. Then we started having these sightings come in. There was a woman from Oklahoma that said, I was in a convenience store parking lot and a boy ran to me screaming for help, screaming, I'm Johnny Gosch. Please help me. Please help me. Two men came and got him and drug him off. She was so upset about it that she did call the police. That's recorded. That's a receipt, as we would say. Their detectives were able to find that she did indeed call the police on this date. So was it him? I couldn't tell you. We didn't have we didn't have TV, cameras back then. Then a little bit after that, a dollar bill showed up. And it said, I'm alive, Johnny Gosch. So the bill was sent to the parents. And mind you, these people are sending stuff to the parents, not the cops. They are sending it to the parents. So John and them said, can you just mail me the dollar? I'll mail you another one back. They got it. They looked at it. That's Johnny's signature. Absolutely. That's Johnny's signature. He's still alive. Well, then all these other bills started showing up that weren't genuine. So I can work out back. There was in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, on the wall of a deli bathroom in red nail polish. Johnny Gosch was here. Again, we have these little things that pop up. I want to talk about one of the investigators, though. One of many. This Ted Gunderson. Ted Gunderson he's classified as the following: FBI agent, author, conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist. Now you would think, and I would think too, that somebody, let me tell you some of the places that he worked. He was interviewed to be the director of the FBI. One of the very few that were that in the 70s, 80s that were interviewed to be the director of the whole FBI. So this is the following places that he worked: Mobile, Knoxville, New York City, Albuquerque, New Haven, Philadelphia, Memphis, Dallas, Los Angeles. He worked on the Marilyn Monroe death, and he worked on the John F. Kennedy assassination. Those two. Again, one of the very few that was interviewed to be the FBI director. He became a leading figure for the far right, and a leading anti-government conspiracy theorist. This is after he retired. In 1995, at a conference in Dallas, he warned of the proliferation of secret occultist groups has a danger of the New World Order. Now, we've talked about the New World Order. We've talked about where that came from. We talked about that. But Mr. Gunn, he was there. He also claimed that there was a slave auction in which children were sold by Saudi Arabian agents to men in Las Vegas, and that there had been 4,000 ritual sacrifices performed in New York City every year. There's 4,000. Yeah. He also said that the U.S. government was preparing for mass executions by setting up 1,000 internment camps and purchasing 30,000 guillotines. I don't know where you could get 30,000. I don't even know where you would get one guillotine now. 30,000 guillotines. That's a lot. That's a lot. Especially when they're not being produced anymore. I mean, I guess if you were in, France back in the 1600s, they were everywhere. But they had set up 1,000 internment. This is the government had set out 1,000 internment camps and were purchasing 30,000 guillotines. He claimed that the Oklahoma City bombing was carried out by the U.S. and the idea that Timothy McVeigh was one of the bombers. He was one of the bombers due to mind control, government mind control. And the last thing that he claimed, that I found interesting, do y'all know who Sonny Bono is? Sonny Bono? Apparently the chase is off. Sonny Bono was married to Cher in the 60s and 70s. They had a show. He was very short. He was a singer. And then he became a senator or congressman. I can't remember. Gunderson says that and Sonny Bono died in a skiing accident. He skied right into a damn tree. So Gunderson did not believe that Sonny Bono died in a skiing accident. Instead, Gunderson alleged that top officials linked to an international drugs and weapon ring feared that singer turned politician Sonny Bono was about to expose their crimes. So they had Bono murdered on the ski slopes and staged the accident. And that was one of their detectives. Sonny Bono. I'm just going to lay this right over here. I'm just going to lay that over there. Now, when Noreen and John talked to Gunderson, they also had one named Sam Soda. They've had, I don't know how many detectives they had. It was a lot of detectives. The police weren't doing anything. What could they do? I don't know what they could have done. There was no crime scene, meaning there's no crime scene. People don't know exactly where it was taken from. They don't know exactly what car did it because we had a blue one, we had a silver one, we have an old guy, we have a young guy. You got the word. They did put the one kid under hypnosis that had looked at the license plate because he said something ain't right. Even Johnny told the guy something ain't right with that guy. They put him under hypnosis. He couldn't remember the sequence of numbers, but he did remember what county it was from. Didn't really help that much. Yeah. So that's what we had. And this was for 2 years we did this. 2 years that they looked, couldn't find what's going on. I don't know. And then we have another paperboy go missing. Eugene Martin, who left on a Sunday morning to go deliver papers on a Sunday morning, the biggest paper there is. His brother usually went with him. But his brother was at a sleepover, and so Eugene was alone. Paper drop. He grabbed the papers. He was sitting on the ground, getting them and rolling them up, putting the rubber bands around them. But let me just tell you something real quick. Another thing that happened during this time. A guy got a hold to Noreen and John and said, listen, I know exactly where your kid is. I was a guard for him. And a motorcycle gang, I can't remember the name of them. I don't think that there was a name of them. Kidnapped him, and I was the guard. And I had to guard all these kids that that motorcycle gang got. Yeah, and I need $11,000. And if you give me $11,000, I'll go get him. So they give him $11,000 because this guy said he knew exactly where he was, that he had been the I don't mean to laugh about it. It was in 1985 that he did this. His name was Robert Herman Meyer. It's Meyer. It's really hard to. But he signed the letter, Samuel Forbes Dakota. That's how he signed the letter. He said he was the outlaw motor thing. He has taken, let's see, a large child slavery ring operated by the said motorcycle club. He requested $11,000 from the Gosches, and he said he would go get him. Go get Johnny for $11,000. They gave him $11,000. Then he said, you know what? I'm actually going to need $100,000 to go get him. That's the only way. I'm the only one that knows where he is. And they were working to get that money. But he was arrested really close to the Canadian border by the FBI. He turned out to be 19 years old. That would have been 3 years. So very unlikely that a 19-year-old boy was guarding all these children, but whatever. He was arrested. He had told the Doreen and John that Johnny had been sold as a pet to a guy in New Mexico, a drug dealer in Mexico City. High-level drug. That this guy had purchased Johnny as a pet. These are the stories they're getting, all right? He was indicted on 6 counts of devising a scheme to defraud and whatnot. So during the court appearance, he said during his court appearance, I lied. All right? I lied. His defense attorney at the same trial said this. The defense attorney said that Meyer did not admit making the whole story that he did. I'm sorry, he did not admit doing that. But parts of it, his attorney said, were true, but the attorney didn't know exactly which part of this. I'm not kidding, people. Didn't know which part Meyer was lying about. This is court. Now, Noreen gets so angry because she believes that this guy does know exactly where that her son is. She is absolutely outraged that the FBI, arrested him. And this is it. Y'all have ruined every chance I'm ever going to have of finding my son. This guy was absolutely it. Well, not really. Not really. So now we have Eugene Martin, who usually delivers papers with his brother. 6:15, his father hears the alarm go off. Eugene has gone out the door. They drive by. Eugene is talking to a guy drives by. Eugene is talking to a man, very friendly, just like Johnny was. Everybody's looking over, all the boys, Eugene is sitting on the ground, getting his papers ready, talking to a guy. They said it was a friendly conversation. It looked like a friendly conversation. Shortly, this Paul Porter was the circulation manager there. He rode by. When he rode by, he saw Eugene's paper bag, the canvas bag, full on the ground. So he said, well, Eugene probably picked up a couple of newspapers by hand, went to deliver them, and was going to come out and get his bag. That's probably what happened. Well, 7:15, They started getting these phone calls, right? Paul, the guy, goes, he grabs Eugene's full bag that is still laying in the same spot 2 hours later. He delivers all the papers. He goes to Don, which is Eugene's father, and says, hey, Eugene did not deliver the papers. I mean, it was up there. Oh, shit, now we have another little boy that's been picked up. Another boy. Let me just say this too. Hold on, I forgot something. In 1985, nope, 83, 84, there was a bill passed, the Johnny Gosch bill, that said, no matter what, if a child goes missing, you don't have to wait the 72 hours. That's ridiculous. That cops were to jump on it right away. That bill passed. And it was signed into law. So when we figured out that Gene at 7:15, so we have 6:15, he had already been gone another, again, 2 hours by the time the police got there. Father frantic. You're not going to hear about Gene and the next boy a lot. In fact, when I tell you that when they disappeared, you're not going to hear their name again at all. Unlike Johnny. Well, we've heard it all to this day. So they began searching. Let me get my notes here. Called the police. The police said, oh shit, here we go again with this. So the police showed up, volunteers showed up. The FBI sent 16 agents. They showed up. There was a $5,000 reward for his thing. The next day, it had gone up to $25,000. The police knew we had a problem. They should say, giggle. So Eugene lived with his father. His father had remarried. And Gene now had 5 stepbrothers and 2 stepsisters. That's a lot. There was a lot of chaos in the house, and it could have been turbulent. And so the police were like, well, was there a domestic thing? Did he get upset? Did he run away? Don Martin is going, absolutely not. They're still trying to say now, they're still trying to say, oh, he ran away. Like they did with Johnny Gosch. Didn't quite work out that way. So, the police were quite certain that they were dealing with another foul play. And they were treating the abduction, like an abduction / kidnapping. They went door to door on that route to ask if anybody'd seen anything. One witness was leaving to go play golf. And let me read it. Hold on. Well, all right. So this guy was leaving to play golf. He saw Eugene, sitting on the ground, getting his papers ready, winding them up and whatnot. He waved Johnny. I'm going to do that a lot. He waved to Eugene. Eugene waved back. And that's it. That was at 5-something in the morning. So then that morning they said that there was a white male who was believed to be in his late 20s or 30s with short hair, parted in the middle, and a few days worth of beard was seen riding around the area around 5 a.m. Now I'm thinking this, okay, who is out at 5 a.m. on a Sunday? Because we're on a Sunday again, if I didn't mention that. On a Sunday, that would have noticed a guy riding around the neighborhood. I don't know. I think that's a little far-fetched, but whatever. It is. Another witness came forward saying they had seen an unidentified man speaking with Gene the morning he disappeared. While the time wasn't known, the guy didn't know what time it was. The paper said the conversation was friendly. That's another thing. That was between 5:15 and 5:45. According to the witness, the man was dressed in light colored clothing, having what appeared to be a pleasant conversation with Gene. The pleasant conversations. The FBI responded. I told you, with 16 agents. They went out. The reward went up to $35,000 during that first week. When asked who could have taken his son, Don said it had to be someone that Gene knew and trusted. He was not the type to walk up to anyone, so he was really shy. Again, lack of evidence. There was papers there. His paper bag was full. Even when the woman called the guy, the manager, she said, I can see his paper bag on the corner. Can I just go up there and get the paper? And the guy was like, no. 5 a.m. on a Sunday. Right. Johnny and both of them happened on a Sunday. Both of them, usually every time, had somebody with them. Every time. Without fail. So the odds that one from one side of town to the other side of town, because they were on two different sides of town, the one day they don't bring somebody with them is the one day that they get picked up. What are the odds? I don't know what the odds are. This guy would have had to have been staking out paper drops. And I don't know how you would know it. How would you know that Gene usually had his brother with him? How would you know that Johnny usually had his dad with him? I don't know. I don't know how this happens. But it's got to be connected. I mean, it's got to be connected. It's got to be, right? It's got to be connected. There's no way that it's not. He was last seen at damn 5:30 in the morning by Connie. We're done. That's it. That's the last. Eugene Marc was not covered the way Johnny Gosch was. I don't know why. I got no idea why, but he wasn't. I don't know if it was because of Johnny's parents that just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, but we will not hear Eugene's name again after this. Is it because he didn't come from a family like Johnny did? I don't know. I don't know why we're not going to hear about them again, but we're not. 2 years pass. 2 years pass. Hold on. It is now March 29th, 1986, and 13-year-old. So Eugene was 13, by the way. Eugene was 13, and he was going to turn 14 5 days before, after he disappeared. They had already bought him a bicycle. You know, that was going to be his gift. His father put the birthday cake in the freezer and saved it for him for when he came back. Never came back. His parents are dead now. All those brothers and sisters, you can't really find anything out. They aren't. You're not going to hear any more about him. All those step brothers and sisters, yeah, he was the baby. They all loved him very much. He was a shy boy. But after this, you don't hear from them anymore. I mean, every once in a while, there's a news story when you hit a certain anniversary. But that's it. I mean, that's it. So let's talk about Marc Allen. Marc Allen was 13 years old. Look, I've got this is everything about Marc Allen that I have. But this is what I'm going to show you. So let's talk about this. Marc Allen had lived with his grandparents for the first 4 years of his life. All right, his grandmother in Connecticut. And then Marc went to live with his father for a little while. this poor kid. He went to live with his dad for a little bit. Then he lived with his mother. Then he went back up with his dad. And then he came back and he was living with his mother. He had some behavioral problems. He had a brother and a sister that lived with his mother, and he never quite he wanted to be really close with them. I mean, this is from his mother. When he moved back with his mother, January of 1985, Marc's mother described him as an intelligent teenager and a good student, but said he had no common sense and had behavioral problems. Police initially believed that he'd run away from home when he disappeared in 1986. They began to look at other theories as time passed without anyone hearing from him. It's now classified a non-family abduction, but what happened was on March 29th, his mom, and this was the Saturday before Easter, right? So we have another holiday. Remember, Johnny was Memorial Day. Now we have the Saturday before Easter. So this is a Saturday. Marc was not a paper delivery boy, but his mother was making pizza. He said, hey, save some of that for me. I'm going to be hungry when I come back. He walks out of his door. He said he was going to go to his friend's house. The mother goes to sleep, doesn't realize that Marc has not come home, wakes up the next morning, calls her mother, who lives in the area there, thinking, all right, Marc went to her house because she had Easter baskets for them. Her mother says, absolutely not. No, I've not seen him. They call the dad, and I don't know how they thought his dad lived like in Minnesota. They called the other grandparent that was in Connecticut. They all said, no, he's not here. So he'd been gone 12 hours at this point. 12 hours. The one thing about this is they told her to wait 48 hours, Marc's mother. But you remember that bill that I told you about that passed in Iowa that said they had to be treated like, right away? Remember that I told you about that law that got signed in July 1984? That came a law in Iowa that the Johnny Gosch bill said that if a child went missing, it was to be treated at that moment. Well, they told Marc's mom that they had to wait 48 hours. What's the difference between Johnny, Eugene, and Marc? Well, Marc had some behavioral problems. He was shuttled back and forth. Yeah. So the kid, but I'm going to show you this. We're going to go back over here to this. Let me go through this. I'm sorry. There's Noreen. I told you about that guy. I always forget I have pictures. This is the guy that their artist said, they're looking over. Here they are looking at shit. This is Ted. This is Ted Gundelson. Yeah. We'll just go there. This is Eugene. They called him Gene. Here's all right, that's the composite of the guy that Gene was talking to. I'm going to show you. All right, so we have the milk cartons. A local dairy said, listen, Johnny and Gene were the second and third, amen, mama, second and third children to be put on milk cartons. A local dairy said, we're going to put Johnny's, statistics and picture up there, and it'll be all over the milk cartons. And, isn't that wonderful? And so they did that. And then other milk, as y'all know, other milk, if you can remember them being in cartons, did the same thing. They had to eventually phase it out because parents were saying that it scared their children. Whatever. So this is the guy on the left that Johnny was talking to. Then we have the guy on the right here that Eugene was talking to. if we go back to the, let me see. That guy, I should have probably put those together. Look. This is Marc. There's another. These are the only two pictures you're going to find of Marc. Yeah, I remember them too. This was the street that he went down. So his mother said he went down the street. He turned around and he waved. And then he went around the corner. Now, he said he was going to his friends on McKinley Avenue. So let's look at McKinley Avenue. I think you're going to find this is going to be pretty when I show y'all this. Okay, so let's go back. This is Eugene's stats here. So we're going to go to where Eugene was abducted from. See this gray right here? Okay. This is where Gene was abducted. This is where the bundles were left. This is where his bag was. This is it. Okay. This is it. Now, I want you to watch. In fact, let me do this. Let me also move this. Let me move this around. Oh, 1 second. All right. Let's look at this one. This is a map from where Eugene was taken to where Marc disappeared. 1.9 miles away. 1.9 miles. Not very far. But I'm going to show you on this how really close that is. If I can get it, there we go. All right. So the gray right here is where Johnny was taken, right? This is where Johnny was taken, but it's, again, other side of town. They're not that far apart. All right. Now I'm going to close this up a little bit. We're looking for McKinley Avenue. McKinley Avenue. Here we go. Do y'all see McKinley Avenue right here? Right here. Now, Marc lived on Emma Street. Okay? Emma Street. And here's Emma Avenue. Do you see that right here? Can y'all see that? Emma Avenue is right here in the middle. I'll move it over again. He was going to a friend's house on McKinley, which is down 3 blocks down. Okay. And we go back over here and we have where Eugene was last. Very close together. Very, very close together. Okay. Now, what's weird about this? What is weird about this? The friend that Marc was willing to see never came forward. No group of friends. He said, "Oh yeah," he told his mom, "We're going to watch a movie." That friend never came forward. Ever came forward. Here's another look at this. I'll blow it up. So we have Emma Avenue up here, right? And then literally a 5-minute walk from where Eugene was taken. A 5-minute walk. Again, the police don't think that this was linked to the Paperboys. Well, They also didn't think that Johnny and Eugene were linked. I got to tell you that. They don't think they were taken by the same person. And they don't include Mark when they do the stories of Johnny and Eugene, the Paperboys. Mark's just kind of left out. But a 5-minute walk, from where Eugene was last seen. They said that Mark didn't have a lot of common sense. So did this guy, and he was small. Eugene was small as well. Johnny was not small. We went back over that, right? He was 5'7", 140. That's a big ass 12-year-old. Eugene and Mark were very small. So what are the odds that you have two paper boys, 2 years apart, almost 23 months apart, that get kidnapped on a Sunday morning while they were getting their papers ready? And then another 2 years, you have a kid that's going somewhere, don't know where. I don't know why the mother didn't ask where. I'm sure she's kicked herself 1,000 times for this. Didn't ask exactly where he was going. Just bye. Who goes to sleep. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah, I ask questions that I never see the answer. I am struggling here. Thank you very much. This is all in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm sorry, shits and giggles. Des Moines, Iowa. So Mark is never locked in with those. I don't know why, but he's not. Mark is just kind of forgotten. He's not covered. There's a picture of his brother, who went on the news at an anniversary, and they said that Mark got no coverage. That his mother would try to call, just like Eugene's people would try to call the news or the newspaper, and they didn't want to talk to him. Yeah, they don't talk to you. Nope. But every time Noreen farted, we had to press over there. Okay. Okay. I don't like Noreen. I don't like Noreen. And I'll tell you why. But his brother, Mark's brother, said it's like it never happened, the disappearance, because it wasn't covered. A 13-year-old boy walks away. No one knows he's missing for 12 hours, and it's never covered. In the same city where two paper boys went missing 2 years apart, and the police didn't think it was. So let's talk about this aftermath. We have an aftermath here. We've got, I told you about the wire fraud, right? We got the wire fraud, where Noreen was so pissed off because she was convinced that this guy was it. Now, I don't know if I'll get a hit for this, but I'm going to try it anyway. There is a very famous 2005 interview that Noreen did. And, here is, let me share this. Hold on, let me turn myself on. I never know what I'm sharing. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that I don't fuck off with this. Here we go. All right, look at what I got. All right, we still have this. Let's clear this off. Let me clear this up. All right, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this Franklin. I don't know. Let me stop sharing. Let me fuck. Hold on. I'm gonna go to this this website. It's the official JohnnyGosch.com. In this, Noreen, it's her site. She wrote a book, Why Johnny Can't Come Home. She self-published it. So we're going through, September 5th, and she's telling the story. And we have this federal this Franklin credit union deal here. We put it back up. So let's talk about this credit union in Omaha, Nebraska. We had what is called the Franklin Credit Union. Okay, it was managed by Larry King. There he is, right there. Not Larry King that we're thinking about, but Larry King. Yeah, this would be the Larry King scandal. Oh, the Franklin scandal. Now, he was a rising figure and donor for the Republican Party, Mr. King here. He was he was rising. He was also a damn con man. And let me say, he had a very luxurious lifestyle. He had a chartered jet. He had a limousine. He had expensive clothes and jewelry. He had a $69,000 watch in the 80s. A $69,000 watch. All he did was manage a credit union. I know the person that manages the credit union here in town. I can tell you she ain't got no damn $69,000 damn watch. But anyway, that's nor here nor there. This would go to 88. They began to look into this credit union because of Larry King. What will follow is a lot. So get ready. In June of 1988, in Omaha, Nebraska, when multiple prominent Nebraskan political and business figures were accused of involvement in a child sex ring. All right, so with all of the homes that Larry King had, he also had one in Washington. That was on the same street that a lot of the politicians live on. It's not a cheap place to live. He was accused of, and people came forward to say, he would get secure children. He would secure women. He would take these children and women, these foster kids, and take them to parties where politicians and police chiefs and everyone in between. This is almost like a Hillary Clinton, Pizzagate. That Larry would make these children available. Okay. We had two. So Larry King was brought up on charges of embezzlement. The government thought that the children's claims, the people's claims, the kids that, well, they weren't kids anymore, but that they ruled that all that was nonsense. The federal grand jury said nonsense. The state, the state grand jury, nonsense. Didn't happen. They even charged one of the girls with perjury. She had to serve between 9 and 15 years in jail for perjury because they said she was lying. She got out after about, I think it was 7. She was 21. Yeah. She was paroled after 4. But these are the people that they say took Johnny. The credit union people, this guy right here, It was disgusting, basically. I'm trying to make it nice, but I can't. It was disgusting. Do I think it's true? I thought it was poppycock when I first looked at this, right? I think, oh, no way. That is no way this idiot right here did all that. He did do all that. I think he did do all that. But Noreen just talked about it over here, and then I'm going to show you one more time. I want to get this interview. Here it is. Yeah, all right. I'm going to let you hear. If I get a hit for this, I get a hit for it. I don't think I will, but we'll see. I'm going to show you. This is an interview that Noreen did in 2005. It's a pretty important interview. So let's listen to a little bit of it. All right. This is just her talking.
Oh, okay.
And he said, right after your boy was kidnapped, we sent a whole group of men to the police department to help, as did other county sheriffs in all the counties around here. We all sent men to help in the search.
Now, I want to say this real quick, too. Noreen thinks, I told you at the beginning, she thinks that her husband, they divorced in 1992, was responsible or worked with these people. She said they had been getting phone calls. In fact, I'll back it up. She said they were getting phone calls on like Friday or Saturday nights at 1:30 in the morning. It would always be a wrong number. And, the phone was on John's side of the bed. She said the night before Johnny went missing, they got a phone call at 1:30 a.m. and that John said, yeah, okay, all right, and hung the phone up. She said, who is that? He said, wrong number. She said she thought to herself, well, that's weird. Why would you have a conversation with the wrong number? So in her mind, her husband was involved. They had another detective, Sam Soda. Sam Soda was also apparently some kind of exploiter. I don't know. I mean, everybody is an exploiter in this. She claims that he told her that Eugene was going to be kidnapped. He's told her that a kid was going to be kidnapped the second week of August. This is all in here. I'm moving it.
Daily was throwing away my son's life, and I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. This was nothing. This was in no way, shape, or form a normal investigation. There was nothing normal about it. And everything about this case smacked of an organized kidnapping.
I have this.
Telling them to cut the funding for the FBI.
This is 2 hours. All right, I'm just going to skip through this.
The poor kid could hardly talk. He said, Mrs. Gosch, there's been another kidnapping. Oh. Just like you said there would be. On the Sunday.
Just like you said there would be.
It's a paper boy. It's on the south side of Des Moines. And they're calling it a kidnapping. And they're bringing in 22 FBI agents from Quantico to handle the case. He said they didn't do any of that for Johnny.
No.
It's such a big rabbit hole.
Alone. And this reporter had heard it on the scanners.
Yep.
I called the producer of the 2020 show.
Yep.
All right, I'm just going to skip through this
trip. The lieutenant said, don't you understand? Someone else called us. I mean, they identified the man. They gave the name. He told us ahead of time that there was a contract on her, that they were going to try to lure her out of the country, out of the...
She goes, I'm just going to, I mean, I know this.
She was forced to help kidnap other kids.
Yeah.
Which is who are also the same people involved in Johnny's kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge asked Paul Benassi on the witness
stand. So Paul Benassi, you just heard the name Paul Benassi. So Paul Benassi was one of the children at the, well, he wasn't a child at the time, that came forward along with Miss Owens, and they were both charged with perjury. Okay. against Larry King. Now, get this, okay? She was charged. Bugatti wasn't charged. But Bugatti was in jail for essaying a child, and decided that he was going to write Noreen and say that he was the one. He was in this sex ring, right? Run by apparently Larry King and others. I don't know. When I read you the list of people who they think did this, but he said that he was already, he essayed 2 children, okay? But he told Noreen that he was the one that helped them kidnap Johnny, and that he took Johnny, they took him to a safe house, and that Paul Bugatti was the first one that actually essayed Johnny. He also said that he ran into him 2 years later. Johnny had a birthmark on his chest, okay? And Bugatti could tell them about the birthmark, but everybody knew about the birthmark. Apparently, Noreen claims that Bugatti told her about a horseshoe-shaped scar on his tongue, and also told her that when he got really upset, he would stutter. And there was nobody else that knew that. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that. And if y'all will remember, it's hard, but this case was on America's Most Wanted about 3 times, I think. And I'm going to put this back up. That's Paul Bugatti. This is the house in Colorado that he said they were taken to. It was a safe, well, it was used to keep the children and whatnot. And that is where he ran into Johnny again. And that he goes in and he shows you, I can't show it because I know I'll get a hit. But it's on YouTube. I can't, yeah. He went into the basement. Now, the man that owned this house was a registered sex offender, which, how would Bugatti know that? That the man that owned it in the time period that he was saying it was a safe house, or that guy was a registered sex offender. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I don't want to believe Bugatti. He had split personality disorder, which, let's just say that one of his alter egos remembers helping to abduct Johnny, but Paul Bugatti's brothers and sisters said he wasn't there. He wasn't there. He was not in Des Moines, Iowa, on the day that Johnny went missing. So was he there? I don't know. But he claimed he was another victim of it. Yeah. So his sister, brothers said no, he wasn't anywhere near Iowa. Now, interested here is that Paul Bugatti civilly sued Larry King. Okay. Hang on. And Paul Bugatti won the civil case, $1 million. He got $1 million. Don't get excited, because I'm going to tell you why he won the money. He brought the civil suit. When the civil suit came, the day of the civil suit, and in the description of this, I have linked the entire trial, word for word. It's listed there. What happened was when they got to court, Paul was there. Paul Bagassi was there. Nobody was there to represent Larry King, so he didn't show up. All right, so nobody showed up. Larry King was still in jail. All right, so Noreen testified for Bagassi. Here, she did a testimony. That is where she says that her son in 1997 visited her home in the middle of the night with another guy. And this is the first time she ever says it when they are in this court. Again, it is linked. It will take you right to, you scroll down. It is word for word, everything that happened. The whole transcript is there, okay, of this. So the reason that Paul got that settlement is because no one was there to defend Larry King. So it's very, he won it, but he won it because nobody was there. But, all right. So now we've got this story of Noreen saying that Johnny showed up in 1997. She was no longer living in Des Moines, Iowa. Okay. No longer. All right. I'm going to show you that. There's more. Bear with me. Now, what I just showed you, that's also linked in the description, was this 2-hour 2005 interview. It's very interesting. She also claims that her ex-husband went to see Paul Bagassi. That John DeCamp, which was his lawyer, had called the Gosch's home. John had answered the phone. John went to see Paul Bagassi in jail with a Noreen lookalike. This is coming from Noreen. That John Gosch, the father, took a Noreen Gosch lookalike to Paul Bagassi 2 years before it broke that he was, he said he was involved, and talked to Paul Bagassi and didn't think a lot of it. Said that, I don't think that that's true. And it turns out that she thinks that John Gosch took this Noreen imposter, to a lot of places to discuss Johnny or whatever. I don't know where she got that from. She said they would come and say, "Oh yeah, we met," and she would go, "No, I didn't. I've never met you." "Hey, Mama T, never met you." "Oh yes, you have." "No, you haven't." This is Noreen. Okay. So, like I said, in this in the testimony, she says that Johnny came to her. So in 1997, she had a knock at the doors like 2 a.m. She goes, she opens up the door, and it's Johnny. He is now 27 years old. And she opens the door at 2-something in the morning to 2 men. She said he opened up his shirt and showed her the birthmark. And then she also said that she knew his eyes. Yeah, that's on it too. Exactly. When I talk, I was rabbit hole, you probably know. I couldn't cover every single rabbit hole this is. It's so huge. It's so gigantic that, and again, everybody is been arrested for, there was a route manager for the Des Moines Register, the newspaper that the kids were, the 2 boys were delivering papers. He turned out to be a child molester. He had the name of 2,000 boys in his little file there. His name was Wilbur Millhouse. And he turned out to be he was convicted on child molestation. Then you had a cop. And then you had the owner of this house that I don't know how Paul Bagassi would have ever known that the guy that owned this house was a pedophile. All right, so Johnny shows up. Johnny tells his mother what happened. Now, this I'm being vague because she is being vague. What happened? He stayed like an hour and a half. He had escaped these people. He was now his hair was long and dyed black. He had been living. All the survivors were of the escaped were living in the same place, but he couldn't tell her where it was. Please don't tell the cops I was here because then they're going to know, and you're going to be in danger, and I'm going to be in danger. And please don't do that. And hold on. Don't call the police. Don't tell anybody I was here. Now, when we go back to that page, let me go back to that. And this would be the Johnny, the official Johnny Gosch. I just put the link in. So then we've got, now we're going to talk about John DeCamp. He was like Bicasi's lawyer. He also wrote a book. Then we have Michael LeVay, the son of Anton LeVay, who wrote the Satanic Bible. He's involved in this as well. This was a highly organized global pedophile / pornography ring. I mean, we're just going to go down here and do this here. Johnny was subject to severe trauma. This is the official Johnny Gosch page. The satanic and the sexual nature in order to destroy. So they brainwashed this kid, all the kids. This trauma. I mean, you can read this. She contradicts herself in just this part right here a couple of times. You have to read through it. I'm gonna let y'all do. I put the link into the chat. I'll do it again in a minute. Now Noreen was like the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Noreen was asked by President Reagan to be there when that officially opened, when that was officially a thing, and she did. She showed up. She was a part of that. Again, she now knows, and in 1997, let's just say that she now knows Johnny, and this, she said it was a man that was with him or a kid that was with him. And then every time she would ask him a question, Johnny would look over to this person to see if he could answer it or not, I guess is what she said. That person never really said anything. But Johnny told her exactly what happened, exactly where he went, exactly what had happened to him over when he escaped, all of this stuff. Okay. This is what Johnny has told. But she still, okay, she knows. If you listen to her, she knows exactly who took him, how they took him, where they took him, what they did. She knows all of that now because she has talked to Johnny in 1997. She knows. You keep reading this little official Johnny Gosch. She wants to know what happened to her son. She wants to know, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You do. You talk to him. You know what happened. But in this, she doesn't know what happened. She wants to know. There she is right there. God love her. Again, we go through this. She tells the story again here on September 5th. Her son Johnny was delivering papers to find her son. She had, thought this. We've got the Johnny Gosch bill. We've got this. And then again, she doesn't know what happened. But wait a minute. You do know what happened because you talked to him in 1997. The hell are you talking about? You don't know. Again, it is a lot. It is a lot. When you're talking about the damn son of Anton LeVay, who wrote the Satanic Bible, being involved, which, can I just tell you, Michael LeVay is not listed as one of his children, but whatever. right here we go. Johnny himself came to see his mother in March 1997. At this point, he confirmed all that Paul Bugatti had told her in the case and asked for her help bringing justice. This is from her website. He shared the names of people who were responsible. Finally, after all of these many years, Noreen knows the who, how, and why of her son's kidnapping. She vowed to her son that she would do something about this and set about in a plan to bring the entire story out. It took a few months to organize this and develop a plan which would be successful. She realized that she must keep the promise to her son and not reveal he had been to her home. He begged her not to share it unless it was absolutely necessary. That was 1997. She was able to keep it confidential until March of 1999, when she appeared in court to testify for Paul Bugatti, okay, who had been vindicated in a federal court order and allowed to file a civil suit against the man who abused him. We went through that. Okay, we went through that. The only reason that Paul Bugatti won that is because no one was there. Larry King was not there, nor anyone representing him. So he won a default award of $1 million. A default award for $1 million. Because no one was there to represent Larry King. He won a default. Let me say that again, because Noreen kind of brushes over that fact. Okay? Brushes over. But she says here that the only reason she told the story is because she was under oath and testifying for Bugatti. Okay. How was that going to help? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. So she wrote a book about all this. There's supposedly a movie. I don't know. What is it? It's on Netflix. I know. This is it. If you read just this, you are confused. Larry King got out of jail after, I don't know. Let me see. I jotted it down. He got out of jail. He kept a very low profile. He was an absolute sleazebag. Do not get me wrong. Please do not get me wrong. He was a sleazebag. He wanted to keep a very low profile. Okay, so I'm going to show you this picture and this picture. There are more pictures, but I do not want to show them. But Noreen, 2 years later, in 2006, she opened up her door and there was a pack of photographs there. This was one of the photographs. She believes this is her son, Johnny. Now, this is in 2006. So why these would, I don't know why she would get them now, but it was that, and it was a couple more boys. I did not post them here because you're going to find out in a little while that these photographs actually were taken in Florida, and it were these kids. And this is the little, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get all that. This is the investigator that in the 1979 to 80, they got this, these photographs, and they went and they tracked down the kids that did it. And basically what they did was tie themselves up to see if they could get out of it. Somebody took a picture, like I said, 79 to 80. This has been investigated. It's been laid to rest. But these photographs were put on her thing in 2006. Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. This is a photograph And if you notice, that would be George Bush, the first one. And this person behind him, do you see that? She says is her son. This would have been in the mid 80s. That is her son. I can't get it any bigger than that. Can I? Yeah, I probably can. Wait a minute. That boy is her son behind George W. I do not see that. I don't know why George Bush would have. This is the Larry King thing. This is part of the Larry King thing. That it went all the way up. All the way up. That for some reason, Johnny would have been in the crowd behind George H.W. in front of everybody. I guess, did they not think that this was going to go out to Des Moines, Iowa? I don't know. I don't think that's Johnny. It doesn't look like Johnny to me. I'm not his mother, but it certainly doesn't look like Johnny to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Noreen, I don't know if Noreen is doing this or people are doing this to her. This is Mark Allen's brother, who basically said, oh, yeah, I mean, look. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The rabbit holes in this, you cannot imagine. They go and they go. We have Robert Wadman. He was a cop. He was supposedly a pedo ring leader. He was the ex-chief, and he confessed to his lawyer that he was in the car when Johnny was taken. And this is Brad Wadman, who, you know, there's not anybody that hasn't apparently confessed to being there when Johnny was taken. But here's the thing. If Johnny and Eugene were taken by the same person, and let's think about this, two paper boys on a Sunday morning, for some reason are alone for the first time, and they get taken right away. Let's think of the odds of that happening twice. That a kid goes to deliver Sunday papers, doesn't take the person they usually take, and they get kidnapped that day. What are the odds that the kidnapper got lucky twice in a row? Not very much, in my opinion. I don't think there's that much luck in the world. But let's just say that they did, that it's the same person. Do y'all think it's the same person? Did the same person take Johnny and Eugene? What do y'all think? Give me a yes, no, absolutely, absolutely not, hell no, let's not, you know. Sorry, I'm running out of water. I'm eating knives now. So we would have to believe in option one that all of these are related. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, we know that there are rings out there. We know that there are pedophiles out there. We know because now they get caught left, right, and center because they're too stupid and they send shit, you know, computer to computer. Back then they did it. So how all these people knew each other, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm not mentioning about, if you could rabbit hole, I'm probably mentioning a third of the rabbit holes in this. A third of them. There's no way I can sit back and I can tell you every one of them because every one of them leads down the same road. So we would have to, again, they would, all right, so if Johnny Gosch was taken by the pedos, and then 2 years later, Eugene, same conversation with the boy, the pleasant conversation, the friendly conversation, the same guy, the same things happen. You know, you have to believe either that they're not connected, and it was so random that on the days that the boys were alone was the one day that the person that took them showed up to take them. All right, that's if you believe that, or you believe that they are connected, same person. So why haven't we seen where's Gene Martin? Did Bukowski not never see Gene Martin? Where'd he go? Why don't we have photographs of him? Why has nobody come forward to say that Gene Martin was absolutely, I saw him. I saw Gene Martin. You know, because he could have said it, anybody could have said it. Nobody's ever mentioned Eugene's name again. He's nowhere. It's over. Nothing. There's nothing. Nobody's ever seen him again. No dollar bill showed up. Nobody in wherever saw him run up to him in a parking lot. Nobody. No dollar bills came. Eugene just gone. So again, here we are. You have the ring. You have, and why would you keep tapping Des Moines, Iowa? You got away with it once. If you believe they're all connected, you got away with it once. All right. This is a huge ring, by the way. Rabbit Hole can tell you. It is this ring is gigantic. This pedophile ring. All right. So Eugene gone. Never seen again. Never heard from again. No one's ever seen him anywhere else again. Nobody. He's just gone. All right. And then you have Marc. 2 years almost from Eugene. A mile and a half away from Eugene. A Saturday night instead of a Sunday morning, but a Saturday night. What are the odds? Why do they keep tapping Des Moines, Iowa? If this pedophile ring is so gigantic, and supposedly it is, from Mexico City to Colorado to Washington, D.C., and everywhere else, this is connected. Why do they keep taking hints from Des Moines, Iowa? You got away with it once with Johnny Gosch. Why are you going to go do it again in Des Moines, Iowa? There are kids delivering papers all over the country. And then why would you go back 2 years later and grab a kid that you just happened to see walking down a road? But King, yeah. I mean, King is involved in this somehow, some way. I don't know. I mean, he got his money somewhere. You know, he got a lot of money. And, you know, if he was doing all this and he was the head of all this and he was the Republican, you know, and you know, he gets arrested for this and all these politicians are going, oh, shit. He's gonna roll on all of us. Oh my God. I mean, he had a damn house on the same street where a lot of politicians live, and that ain't cheap. Oh, sorry. Poppy was once asked if he was born again Christian. Yeah, I was born again. Yeah. So again, this supposedly went to the the highest form of our government. And Larry King is the one that did it. Larry King did all this. But if you'd have told me that things happened like with P. Diddy, right? If you'd have told me he had orchestrated the stuff that he did before I knew he did it, I'd be like, you're nuts. And that's P. Diddy. But this guy, Larry, facilitated thousands of children. You were going to have, he would have had to facilitate the kidnapping and or gathering of foster children. He was flying them left, right, and center. Paul Bugatti was flown all over the place. He says, in one of his personalities, he's got a lot of them. And that comes from being molested. A lot of children that are victimized like that do form multiple personalities because their personality can't take it. And he's got that. And I'm not saying that he doesn't. I mean, I think Paul Bugatti is absolutely a victim here. I just don't know how, because he wasn't there. His brothers and sisters say he was not there when Johnny Gosch was kidnapped. He was not there. Contrary to his own statements, he wasn't there. They knew he was not. He was at their home states away. So, yeah, your rabbit hole is right. It is. It's this makes no sense. That they're not connected makes no sense. They have to be connected. What are the odds? Then you have the guy that oversaw all of the delivery boys being busted out as a pedophile and had the number of 2,000 boys, or girls and boys, as potential, deliverers. That's weird. And then you have another like Sam Soda. I didn't mention him very much. He was one of the investigators that he's the one that told Noreen about a year before. So there's going to be another paper boy. He's going to be kidnapped in the second week of August. This was what Sam Soda told her. He was an investigator that she hired. She thought he knew a little bit too much, so she didn't want anything to do with him. But then, her husband was seen with him at several parties. This is Sam Soda that was in, I invite you to start down this rabbit hole. I invite you to do it. It is so odd. It is so weird. It makes sense sometimes, and then sometimes it does. Once you get in the rabbit hole, everything starts to make sense. Everything makes sense when you're down there in the rabbit hole. Then when you the minute you look away, it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make. Stassi, pack a lunch. This is the most. It's completely sad. Noreen Gosch to me is the saddest person. I can't imagine if she has in her mind. If Johnny has visited her, it's out now. It's over. Okay. It's over now. Johnny, you can come out. All right. This is over with. You're my age. He's a year younger than me. You can come home. Now, why haven't you? Why haven't you? Where is he? Where is he? Why? I mean, it's over. It's over. He hasn't come forward. when he told her he escaped, she changes that story too a lot. If you go back, she has versions of that story of what was said and what was done, in that they're very slight differences, but they're differences. There's differences. Why would you bust your kid out because your Bugatti is trying to get money out of Larry King? So your son is saying, please go figure this out, even though I've just told you exactly what happened. All right. Get me justice, Mom, but don't tell him where I am. You can't. Then she decides 2 years later, when Bugatti is suing Larry King, to bring it out then. The visit? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I know his father does not think that he visited Noreen. I told y'all before, she had claimed some of this stuff before, and then she would retract it. She didn't retract this after she said it in court. She didn't retract it. Because now it's part of the transcript. Again, the transcript is in the description. The 2-hour video that I was just plucking around, that's in the description. If there's something else that you don't see in the description, let me know and I can find it. I don't think he's alive. You know, every single day, and this is becoming an everyday thing. If you on Reddit and there's missing people, almost every day with DNA and genetic testing, they are identifying victims. They are identifying murderers. It's almost every day. Somewhere out there could be a John Doe. It could be 3 John Does out there. And they just haven't gotten the DNA yet. And they're not, it's every day. Again, I say, if you don't believe that Johnny and Eugene were taken by the same person, what happened to Eugene? Why was he never found? I would love, you know what, if, as always, I hope he's out there. I hope they're all out there. I feel very sorry for Marc. Marc never gets mentioned. But Marc had a really horrible, bad, he had people that just didn't want him. Sorry, not sorry. You know, the grandmother had him for 4 years, then the mom had him, and then the dad had him, and then he went back to the mom. I mean, he had behavioral problems. Gee, I wonder why. He's never mentioned. Gene is never mentioned. Gene Martin is never mentioned. It's only Johnny. It's only Johnny. I do too. I think they're connected. There's no way they're not connected. There's no way. I just don't understand why that ring, as big as it was, kept going to Des Moines, Iowa to pluck these kids out. I don't understand that. That's what I don't get that. I don't understand why you keep going to the same town and doing the same thing. When your network is so large, why do you keep going to Des Moines, Iowa? I mean, the credit union was in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, that's not a long way from Des Moines, Iowa. It's not a long, it's like 2 hours maybe. But if you got all the way people down in Mexico City and up in Colorado, and then I meant to go look. I did mean to go look. Children that went missing, or it's hard to narrow that search down, to put the years that, the year 82 to 86, but 80 to 90, let's put it that way, and see where kids were taken and when. But it's hard. You can't do that. It's very hard to do. Yeah. Yeah. The thing though, a lot you have to pick and you have to figure Reddit out. If Reddit has got like a pinned link to an actual, then you can believe it. Reddit is a whole rabbit hole right there. So anyway, that is the mystery tonight. That is our mystery. I didn't do it justice. There's no way I could. I could not do. I couldn't. There's no way I couldn't have covered all these rabbit holes. They do disappear all the time. Yeah, they do. But Reddit, I mean, it's pretty good. If you get the right, the Reddit, it's so you can narrow it down in Reddit. You can really the best place, Nikki Bryant's book, the Franklin. Yep, there you go. That book, again, I don't. There's no way I could bring myself to read it. I'll read anything. Yeah, the True Crime Garage. They go into a lot more detail, and again, I don't. Those I don't know the true. I don't know how many episodes they have on just this. I know it's a lot. I know, and they're at least like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. I didn't have that kind of time. We'd be covering every one of these. Be forever. If I do that, it'd have to be definitely 5 parts. I don't even know. So next week we're going to another direction. We're going to go back and we're going to revisit Thelma Todd. Thelma Todd was a actress in the 30s in California, obviously Hollywood. And she died under very, very mysterious circumstances. So we're going to go all the way back to 1930s Hollywood, the golden age. And we're going to take a look at the death of Thelma Todd, a very beautiful woman, a very smart woman. If you were here when me and David Owen were talking about her, one of the smartest women of her time, a businesswoman, not some airy head actress. So we're going to take a look at her death. It is it's a subject that is still debated to this day on exactly what happened. He does have one. Let me see what I'm going to do. Hold on. I can go find that, or Rabbit, we can go find that. Or you can email me at theshannon681.com and give me that link, and I will put it in the description as well. And I think I only have 2 things linked right there. Yeah, this whole bank, the scandal is another huge thing. It's really huge. It's a huge story. It's gigantic. Just that story alone is gigantic. And then when you add in, the boys. But we're going to take a look at Thelma Todd next week and figure out what the hell happened to Thelma Todd. It's another mystery that we're not going to figure out, but we'll definitely have opinions. So that'll be next Saturday. I do not think I'm going to be doing the Windsors this week just because I'm going to be going to the getting ready to go to the hockey game Thursday. Because in my Windsor house of train wreck, we're right up to Wallace and Edward meeting, and the fuckery that ensued. I might try to get that in this week. I might try to get that in on Wednesday. We'll see. But I know I'll be back next Saturday where we're going to talk about Thelma Todd. And we're going to go, that's a very interesting story. And thank you. If you will do that, I will link it. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'll try to find it. Let me write it down. There's somewhere I put all the links, and I always forget to link them. But I know with the court, with the civil suit, I was definitely going to do that. And if you go listen to that 2005 interview that I played a little bit of, with Noreen, and I put that in fact, I think I can still put that. Yeah, this is the 2005 interview right there with Noreen. It's crazy, but she touches on a lot of it. A lot. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Mid Mom. God, I love you. So I will see y'all next Saturday for sure. Maybe Wednesday we'll do Edward and Wallace. That y'all know how that kills me. But we might do that. But I'll definitely see you sometime this week. And I want to thank you for coming. I know this was a lot. It's a lot to cover. It's a lot. And it's very sad stuff. So yeah. But I will see you next Saturday for the mysterious death of Thelma Todd. Don't be late. 9:00 next Saturday. Thank y'all for showing up. Give me the thumbs up on your way out. Share it out. Do whatever. I don't know. But I will see you for sure next Saturday night, possibly before. Goodbye.